Puka Nacua is said to be fine according to Adam Schefter. And we have a report right here. Puka is going to be fine. No major injury. Not much of an issue. Should be okay going forward. But then we have mixed reports and mixed signals from Schefter himself, who says, Ian Rappaport himself, who says that he should be available for the game, or they think he'll be available for the game. And there's constant contradictory statements coming out of this situation. So definitely some concern, I think, right now, despite the positive reports like I have in the headline here. But it does seem like he escaped some sort of major catastrophe. But is he on the verge of re-injuring the PCL again if he plays? So I feel like we're being told a constant barrage of bad information and misleading updates from coaching, from Schefter and Rappaport level reporting. This year's been a nightmare in terms of trying to dissect what's coming out of these reports. Christian McCaffrey has a calf injury. Oh, it's an Achilles. Oh, and he has bilateral Achilles tendonitis. Oh, and Higgins is fantastic. He even says, I feel great. I'm going to be fine. I'm fantastic. Never felt better. Out week one. We've seen this from week one until now. We can't trust a single piece of reporting that is hitting our news wires, the content you're watching now that I'm reporting on this news and that piece of news. We can't trust any of it. We can't trust any of it. I don't know what's going on with Puka. You don't know. I don't know. No one knows. Ian Rappaport doesn't know. Schefter doesn't know. No one knows. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show.
Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Again, I can't emphasize enough that no one knows what in the hell is going on. No one does. And when Rappaport says something like this, he goes live on NFL Network and says, Puka Nacua is going to be fine. No major injury. And there's a chance he plays this week. We're getting the most mixed signals I've ever seen in my life this season. I've never seen a season like this where we've been misled by coaches. No discipline's going to be handed down on Shanahan's behalf. Shanahan telling us lies left and right all season long, in off season long about Christian McCaffrey. There's no way to know anything is for real anymore at this stage. We have to go in with one eye looking this way, one eye looking this way, cross-eyed into every piece of news update that comes our direction, and we need to decipher it ourselves. We need to make our own cold, hard calculation on what we think is going to happen. Now, let me tell you this. I do think that Puka is not severely injured. The question and the concern I have is that if this is a relapse or a re-injury of sorts, or irritation of the bursa sack situation in his knee or the PCL, that we're in a situation where we might see him get injured if he goes out and plays. That is the concern I have. Is it the bursa sack or is it the PCL? If it's the PCL, we do have a problem. We do have a major problem, because if he plays on it, he's going to potentially re-injure his knee and put himself in a position where he's out for the season if he ends up tweaking that PCL that is a component in the knee that keeps the knee stable. Without the ACL and the PCL, which essentially are like this. They cross in the knee, okay? They go in the top knee joint, into the bottom knee joint, and they keep the knee stable, okay? When you bend, both those ligaments, the PCL ligament, the ACL ligament, those ligaments keep this knee stable. When you pop one of them, let's say you take the ACL out, you have a looser knee. You have a looser knee in one direction. One helps it not go off the shelf that way. The other one helps it not go off the shelf that way. If you tear your ACL and pretend this is your ACL. You tear your ACL, you have just your PCL in the middle of the knee, and they do a test where you sit on a table and they pull your leg. If there's a lot of lax in there, they know the ACL is either torn, compromised, or completely gone. That's why they can do a on-the-field ACL test and pretty much know, we fear he tore his ACL. It's almost always the case that they tore it if their fear is that they tore the ACL because of the lax in the knee. There's the PCL is vital for keeping the knee stable. So we need more information, but we're not going to get it. Why are we not going to get it? Because they don't care. We don't need to know this information. That's what they think of us. The betting worlds, the fantasy worlds that have a big responsibility for the viewership of the NFL. I get so sick and tired of not only the NFL players that say something as ridiculously moronic as, I don't care about fantasy. Hey, are you going to score for me in fantasy this week? I don't care about your fantasy. Your fantasy doesn't matter. And then what makes me even more mad are the commenters and people that piggyback off the players' comment, the callous comment about our fantasy football desires and our reason for watching, okay? A big portion of the viewership of the NFL are fantasy football players, gambling people across all different facets of the gambling spectrum, from best ball to just betting on teams and hires and lowers. Everyone that's watching now has vested interest in these players playing and not playing. When a player says something is stupid, as, oh, I don't care about fantasy doesn't matter, and someone in the comments of that video says, yeah, who cares about your fantasy? They're not worried about your fantasy. They should be worried about our fantasy football. They should be worried because we're the reason they get paid what they're getting paid. If we didn't watch, if you took the entire fantasy community and betting community off the board in terms of viewership for the NFL, these players would they wouldn't even get paid half of what they're getting paid right now. It's ridiculous to me that someone, a player, and then another human being is going to piggyback off the player's comment and act like this isn't a big deal, that we shouldn't be able to be concerned, that we shouldn't have our information, that we don't matter. We matter. Without us, you don't get paid. You get paid at least double what you normally get paid because of all the viewership from the fantasy football and betting communities. You got some nerve if you're a player and you think fantasy doesn't matter or that your comment about it doesn't matter. And you got another thing coming if you think it's about your fandom. Little John with his jersey that he's had for 15 years doesn't play fantasy, doesn't bet. He just watches his team lose year after year after year. He's the one making the dumb comment, your fantasy. He doesn't care about your fantasy, Smitty. Only fantasy football people would concern themselves with an injury. They're worried about football. They're worried about winning games. They better be worried about what we think, too. Absolutely ridiculous. And even more ridiculous are the people that support the players' comments. Get a grip. Realize where you are. Read the room, players. Understand where you fit. You work for us. You work for us. You get paid because we watch. You get paid because we say hire on Breece Hall. You get paid because of us. Get that straight. And go get us a coffee. As for this news, all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is that Puka does not have a severe injury that's risking his season now. Does he have something that could develop into that? Maybe. And I can't give you any more information than Ian Rappaport says he's going to be fine. There's no major injury, and he might be available for this week's game. That's all I got for you. I wish I could give you more of a distinct answer, but my guess is that he probably is 50-50 to play. I think this report is going to make people excited, but they shouldn't be because it's still very 50-50 that he plays. They might want to play it safe. No major injury, not a big deal, but we're going to play it safe and sit him out for a week or two. Lamar Jackson is going to have rest built into his weeks going forward, according to Ian Rappaport. They expect Lamar to have rest days built into every single week moving forward. Makes sense. I'm not mad at that. He's not a very good practice player anyway, according to his own mouth. He's the one that says that. So why not have him sit out? Ian Rappaport also reporting it does appear that Jordan Love's groin is tracking to play in Week 9 against the Lions. It's a big game. It's a big game, kind of like JD5 playing against his fellow rookie Caleb Williams. It was a big game. If you can make it work, you make it work. If there's no risk of making it worse, problem is ribs is a little different than a groin. A groin injury, kind of like a calf injury, kind of like a hamstring injury. You play on it, you can be absolutely torched for the rest of the year if you end up re-injuring it badly. So this could be something that if he plays, it could end very badly for the remainder of his season. It can knock him out for 4 to 6 weeks. I'm a little bit apprehensive about him playing in this game. DK Metcalf, this news has been all over the map. DK Metcalf, MCL, has been ruled out of Sunday's game. He was trending on the optimistic side earlier in the day, in the morning, and then it quickly flipped before even the morning ended. And then there's some cloudiness, according to his head coach, around his ability to play Week 9. Now he's been ruled out for week number 9 with the MCL. DK Metcalf, according to ESPN, this report here, Coach Mike McDonald said he expressed optimism that DK will be ready to return after the Seattle Seahawks bye week next week. Optimism now that he could return. We're not being told the truth. We're not being told the truth. No one's feeding us the truth. We are left to our own devices. You're left in relying upon me. So climb on my back. I'll do my best going forward with what I can do. I've got the best fake doctorate degree in the internet space and spectrum for injuries. No, I'm not an MD. I just act like one, and I will continue to do that for you. I do that for you because I work for you. And I believe that I can do it better than anybody in the industry because I've done this for 23 years, specifically injury-related situations. And I'll tell you this right now, going forward, we don't trust them. We decipher what is being said, and we have to come to our own conclusions. I think at this stage in the game, it's a wait and see on this one. I believe that the extra rest will have him available after the bye week. But what a shame. What a shame, DK Metcalf. Just more bad news this week. We had such a great week, and now we got bad news is infecting the entire fantasy football landscape. Spears not going to play this week. Tony Pollard, questionable for week 9. If he does play, he has the backfield to himself. This will be a good week to play Tony Pollard against the Patriots. I think he has a good day, maybe 100 total yards, maybe a touchdown. But he's got to be able to suit up. That is something we don't know if he's able to do yet. We'll know more on that. Juju Smith-Schuster, hamstring, did not practice Friday, trending in the wrong direction. This is great for Xavier Worthy. It's great for Hopkins. It's great for Travis Kelce. So stay tuned on that, but more and more and more Worthy will be introduced and injected into fantasy football lineups as we go through the season. Get ready for that. That's the news for today. There's not a lot, but it's pretty hardcore, hard-hitting, impactful stuff with the DK, the Puka, the Jordan Love playing potentially on the injury. We'll answer some Puka questions. Should you trade him away? Should you buy him low? I think there's a world where we could live in both of those mindsets. I certainly would buy him at the right price. I don't think there's a major injury at hand right now, but I do think that if he plays the way he plays, there's certainly an opportunity that this guy could re-injure his PCL, put himself in a position where he's missing 4 to 6 weeks or the entirety of the rest of the regular season because he decided to play aggressively because that's the only way he knows how. The only way he knows how. I liken Puka Nacua's playing style to a fish out of water. A wet fish out of water, flopping around all over the place. That's how Puka Nacua plays football. He knows no different. I don't blame him. I give him credit for having heart and soul. And he fights like a person on their last breath, like that fish out of water. He flops around all over the field and puts his body at risk on every single play. Even if he was not in the game on the sideline, he'd flop around on the sideline, on the bench, getting his water. He's constantly putting his body at risk. And, I think, fish out of water, Marco Polo, I don't know what to tell you at this point other than I would buy. I would take the gamble and risk because he's so dynamic, because he's so elusive, because he's so, I guess he's worrying his owners to a degree that I think they want out. I think there's reading the temperature early, and I tell you, I always could read temperature of player values better than anybody because I engage with my audience more than anybody. I'm already getting a vibe that people want to get the hell out. And I understand it. In some cases, I condone it. In some cases, I don't condone it. It depends on the situation. I think that for the most part, my gut tells me that Puka is a good enough value because of this. You're buying at a low risk, baked in boys type of risk. I don't think you're going to put yourself in jeopardy of losing your league because you trade for Puka Nacua. I think you can win your league trading for Puka Nacua right now. If you own him, hold him. Don't sell him low. Nobody's coming and knocking except for a Fantasy Football Show, the Fantasy Football Show member that knows to go buy him. So if you own him, hold him. If you have him and you can package him into some creative trade, bring it by me, run it by us, and we'll give you our feel and take. But for the most part, in general, he's a buy because of the panic, because of the risk baked in. We buy. Why not? Why would you not buy a player that can win your league? Kyron, Corum, Mason, Garendo, Monty, Sharbs, Ray Davis, Amon-Ra, Cooper Kupp, Pearsall, Kittle. Is Kittle for McLaurin and Ertz enough? I'm going to say that if you need a tight end, Kittle is equal to McLaurin given the way he's playing. If you need a wide receiver and you have like Kraft or some sort of tight end option that you believe in, then I'm okay. I'm okay with either side of this. I think it's pretty good on both sides. I don't disapprove either direction you want to go, TP. It's a very even Steven trade. Thank you for the super chat. Aiden, appreciate you. Dynasty trade, send to me. I get AJ Brown. I give Tyreek and Downs. Ziggy, how old is AJ Brown?
AJ Brown is 27 years old and was born on June 30th, 1997.
I take AJ Brown. Ziggy, how old is Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill is 30 years old and was born on March 1st,
It's a significant difference, bro. He turns 31. Hill turns 31 walking in the next season. We're talking Dynasty here. I'm going to take the AJ Brown side. Still have Debo Reed. Yeah, and it doesn't hamper you this year. If anything, it might help you this year. I'm not saying I don't buy into Tyreek Hill right now. I still do. But at the right price, we're buying low. We're not buying high. AJ Brown is a monster, should be a monster for at least one more, probably 2 more years, maybe even 3 more years. It's possible. McLaurin owner also has Hill, DJ Moore, Aaron Jones, Kenneth Walker, Deontay, but has been unwilling to offload Hill. Yep. Okay, TP. Appreciate you. Hall and Flowers for my Chase and Tracy. Give me Chase and Tracy, bro. I love Hall, but that's not buying, getting Jamar Chase and Tracy, that's a smash. Tracy might be a high-end running back too, for all we know right now. Mahomes, Kupp, Debo, Terry, Dell, Worthy, Coleman, Bijan. I get Achane side. Okay, so the trade got offered Achane and Amari Cooper for Debo and Connor. Give me the Achane and Amari Cooper side. Easy. I'm not seeing the other side being better at all. Running backs Mixon and Tracy, flex JK or Keon Coleman. I'd probably go Keon Coleman if it's full PPR, my boy. But you could go either way. I think JK could have a day. Half PPR, Chase Brown or Connor. I'd rather have Connor. Jordan Love or Baker. I'd probably rather have Baker right now with the injury risk to Love. Even if Love went out there and got injured or something, I guess I go Baker for right now, the way Baker's playing. Team is Love, Baker, Mixon, Connor. I like the squad. Very, very solid squad. Nico comes back. That's a home run team right there. Olave and Bucky for DK. I'd rather have Olave and Bucky right now because of DK's, risk of maybe being ready after the bye week. I just don't think you can trust that right now. If I claim Evans, I need to drop a player for a kicker. Hunt, Stevenson, Hopkins, Downs, McConkey, Tracy, or Hawkinson. I probably would say your worst player here, unfortunately, my boy, is going to be Hopkins or Hawkinson, because Hawkinson hasn't done anything yet. Probably would say drop D-Hop and then monitor him. But D-Hop could have his big day and then everybody's racing to grab him. This is a tough spot to be in. It's not an easy question. I give Kincaid plus BT for Neighbors. I would take Neighbors right now, Jaime. I think he's worth the risk. He has the home run ability. What would you trade Tyreek? Would you trade Tyreek for Neighbors and Coleman? I'd rather have Neighbors and Coleman right now. I'm not saying that can't change. Jacobs or Hunt and Pittman or Hopkins. I'm going to say Jacobs over Hunt by a hair and Pittman over Hopkins. Probably Pittman over Hopkins this week until we see Hopkins get going a little more. Traded Deontay Johnson for Ridley. I'd rather have Ridley. I also have traded Hopkins and ETN for Swift. I'd rather have Swift by a mile. But then I maybe shop Swift if possible. Just not because I doubt what he's continuing to do week in and week out. I've already said I'll take my lap on the fact that I tried to give up on him too early this year. Even though we loved him last year, feel ashamed of myself that I didn't give Swift another shot. I don't like Shane Waldron. I don't like Shane Waldron, and his offense looks like garbage, but Swift is benefactor of that. So, but I would still trade him high. Flex B-Rob or Tracy for me. B-Rob's injured anyway. On the fence, yeah, I mean, he might not even play. He's questionable. Could play. But, yeah, you got to go Tracy. How do we view Chase Brown this week with Zach Moss out? As a very solid running back, too. Very solid. Like, you could even maybe say high end. Offered A.J. Brown for Garrett Wilson. Yes, because of buys. Chat, vote. Garrett Wilson or A.J. Brown? I mean, it's hard to say. Because, I think A.J. Brown, one big game from A.J. Brown, and we're back to saying he's a top 12 overall player. Garrett Wilson's playing like a top 15 overall player right now. I'd be very curious to see what the chat votes on this one. AJB. Okay, I was curious if the chat was going to go with the Garrett Wilson, but apparently it's a unanimous A.J. Brown. I have to agree, especially with A.J. Brown, that bye week's out of the way. I very much am fine with either side, though. I love Garrett Wilson right now. If I did Kittle for McLaurin and Ertz is my only tight end. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, bro. I think Kittle's playing out of his mind. It depends on the wide receiver, TP. If your wide receiver's pretty solid to plug in instead of McLaurin, then, you almost want to say, why not ride with Kittle, bro? But if it's the same thing on both sides, I think it's just even Steven, bro. It's just really an even trade. Sutton or Shakir. Probably Sutton, I guess, but that's damn near even. Rather have Worthy or Ridley rest of the season. Worthy. I think Worthy comes around full steam ahead. First and last, appreciate your $20 hauler, my bro.
Too much.
$20 hauler in the house. 12-team PPR, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes. Thoughts on this team? 3-5 have to win out. 4-1. Burrow, Brees, Hall, Mason, Bucky, Brooks, Debo, Olave, McLaurin, Deontay. This is a tough team. I'm not going to lie, bro. Having the 2 tight ends, maybe try and figure something out. I don't know if you have to wait till one of them pops off this week. Tillman's good trade value. McLaurin's good trade value. I like your wide receivers, but I definitely would try and get rid of Tillman or McLaurin and bank on one of them. Go with those 3 wide receivers. Trade Mason and Brooks. You're trying to get a Kamara. You're trying to get a Walker. You're trying to get somebody like that, bro, to put right next to Brees Hall. Because Mason, we don't know what Mason is anymore. He served his purpose. He was practically free. He set people up to win their leagues, but now we need a closer. And I think that Kamara, Walker are 2 players that have that ability. I think I think you got the firepower to maybe get it done by trading one of the wide receivers and either banking on Tillman, or you're trading Olave or McLaurin, or you're trading Tillman and you're trading Brooks and you're trading, let's say, Mason to the CMC owner for Walker or Kamara or a running back around that territory first and last. That is your way of saving this team. You've got to trade. Go to the CMC owner, bring their team to me, and let's see if we can cook up something with the CMC owner. After you got after the bye, which QB do you got rest of season? Caleb Russ or Jameis Winston? Probably Jameis, man. It's wild to say that, and it's definitely risky. I'd say Caleb safer, but I would rather have Jameis. Flex Reed or Waddle. I'm going to go Reed this week, but Waddle's a good play. What QB to trade in Dynasty? Trade for in Dynasty. Stroud or Mahomes? Mahomes by a mile, bro. But I think Stroud's still got good value. It's just he's playing like dog crap. Trade Tarde Monte. Trade Monty for Puka. I'd rather have Monty right now with the injury concerns, but I think Puka is damn good. Like a Puka, this is not. That's tough. Chat, Monty or Puka? You know, I'm wavering a little bit. I want Puka so badly because I think Puka's top 12 to 15 overall. Monty's more like he's there in the second round-ish. Like he's pushing second round value and he's steady. I'd almost say Monty is probably just the steadier play. But then again, you could use it too. Tank Pacheco, you could use Monty here too, though. I'd say Monty's safer. Go with what the chat says, though. I don't hate either side. I would definitely risk the biscuit for Puka in some leagues like that. I'd be fine with risking it, but I'd understand the risk. You know what I mean? Start Kyler versus the Bears D or Herbert against the Browns. I'll go Kyler. 3 and 5 Superflex. Love, Goff, Knicks, Bijan, K9, Ray, Pacheco, Hill. Who could I target? I guess like you could try. I like your receivers, bro. I'd maybe try and move Ladd. And I don't know. I like your team. Move Ladd to upgrade Goff or Knicks maybe slightly. Go after Mahomes, who's very doubted. Knicks and Ladd for Mahomes or for a quarterback like. I mean, you could try for one of the big two, but I don't think you're going to get them. I like your squad a lot. You know, maybe you could trade Ladd and DA for a St. Brown or higher upgrade Kwani. That would be pretty good. That's a good squad, though. I like what you got going on there. Trade Tank and Chase Brown for JT. Tank Dell and Chase Brown for... You got to be careful. Tank Dell or Tank Bigsby. Like, Danny, you know, you don't want to screw up your super chat and then not have the right advice. You got to be careful using duplicate names. Chase Brown and Tank Dell for JT. I'd rather have JT. If it's Tank Bigsby and Brown, I'd still rather have JT. Tank and Brown on the bench. Appreciate you, Danny. Steve says, how you like my team? You helped me with Josh Allen, Bijan, Achane, Tracy, Scary Terry, BTJ, Evans, Pittman, Olave. I like the team a lot. I'd maybe try and consolidate a little bit. I'd maybe try and say, let's upgrade Evans, who's still out right now. Let's upgrade Evans. Let's use Olave or BT or Scary Terry and Evans to go get, you know, a JJ who's slightly undervalued right now. A Jamar Chase, maybe a St. Brown, and then that's kind of the cutoff. Or I'm trying to go get Neighbors right now, straight up for Scary Terry, and maybe you throw in Dobbs, or maybe you throw. What about Chase Brown and Scary Terry for, or Chase Brown and Evans and Dobbs for one of those big top 4 wide receivers, Steve? That's the only thing left to do. The rest of your team's fire, and your depth is actually pretty good to where if I couldn't get the right player, I'd just hold. Start QB 6 points. TD, Tua, Stafford, Knicks. I'm probably going to go Stafford this week. He's got his boy. If Puka sits, maybe we go Bo Nix. But I think I go Stafford. I think Stafford is the safest call. But Nix is pretty good. You want to put your balls on the line. I mean, Nix is fine. Stream Herbert or Geno this week. I don't know, bro. That's such a tough call. At Cleveland for Herbs. At Cleveland for Herbs, and then of course we've got Seattle at home versus the Rams. I guess I go without DK, bro. I'm going Herbert, I guess. I don't like it. I think there's got to be a better option for you, bro. Yeah, check and comb the waiver wire. I don't know. I don't like it at all. I don't like it, broski. I think we got to figure something else out. Daniel says Ferguson. Help me, Pitts or Ferguson. You got to go Pitts, bro, after the big game. Come on. You got to sit Pitts. He's playing too well. The big question is, do the Chargers continue to throw more like they have been? I mean, with Geno being the other alternative, you got to bank on that, I guess. Tracy or Jacobs, I'd probably go Jacobs, I suppose. But very, very close. I like both options a lot this week. Full PPR, this is from Jared. Thank you, Jared. Trade ideas, JT, Walker, Henry, great running back stable, bro. Hunt, trade Hunt while you can. JJ, Nico, McLaurin, Flowers. Not much to do here, bro, except for upgrade your damn QB position. Go get Mahomes on the cheap. Go get somebody using Chase Brown or Hunt or maybe Flowers. And if you don't get that done, or you like Darnold, or you got Dak, I guess. I'm okay keeping Dak. I really am. I don't mind you starting Darnold right now either, but I don't mind Dak Darnold, I guess. For me, I guess upgrading maybe upgrading. What about Walker and Flowers for a bigger running back? Or upgrading your QB? Jared, I would focus on those two things. Somehow you're 2-6. Your team is really good. But I'd focus on those two things. I personally don't know that I believe in Mahomes going forward. So I'm trading for him on the cheap. But if you want to roll with your two QBs, I'm fine with that. Just go upgrade your Walker slightly. And I like Walker too. Walker's hard to upgrade. You have to be a very significant trade. And if you don't upgrade Walker, maybe you try upgrading the Flowers position, using depth and just have another big gun. Then that might lead to another big trade. But I don't think I force anything. And make sure if you upgrade Walker, you're actually upgrading him. He could be a top 6 to 10 running back going forward. He really could. Waddle or Gesicki in the flex spot. I'd say Waddle. Yeah. There's not a question. And then here we got 1 and 7. What advice you got? Allen, 1 running back, 2 flex. Allen, Olave, McLaurin, Swift, Kincaid, Devontae Smith, Ridley. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna shoot you straight. There's no trade potential here. I don't mind the team though. It's not a bad team, but you can't really trade anything. Maybe you could trade Swift. Maybe you could trade like Swift and Ridley, or Swift and I don't know. I'm trying to think. You could. I mean, I wonder if Swift and Ridley could get you a Breece Hall from the panic Breece Hall owner right now. Breece Hall panic is bad. People are running from him. It's so wild. If not, I'm very tempted to say just let it ride for another week. Let Olave get Carr back, obviously. And then we'll see what's what. Swift's been playing good football. McLaurin's playing great football. Devontae Smith I like a lot still. I don't think you got anything on the bench. Tracy got Tracy on the bench. Tracy goes up. Try this.
Motion detected at the front door.
Put your cojones on the table with either Swift or Tracy. Trade one of them with McLaurin or Olave and upgrade that bad boy into a top 5 wide receiver, Sergio. That's what I'm doing. It's a 1 running back league, so you only need 1 RB. I'm not saying don't have a good backup, but damn, bro, go all in. I think you need to make a move. I don't think that team, it's good, but I don't think it's the best team in the league, if you know what I'm saying. What can I get for BT and Dobbins? Probably Walker, Kamara, Neighbors would be players that come to mind as 3 big guns to try and attempt to go get with that package. Start 2, Baker, Geno, Jordan Love. Jordan Love plays and playing Jordan Love and Baker. You know, if he doesn't, then you have your answer. But, like, there's no way I'm playing Geno without DK Metcalf over those options. My boy, Hot Dog Guy, thank you for the super chat. Any tips? 12-team league. I'm 5-3. I'm starting JD5, JJ, CD. That's a great team. McBride, Olave. I like this squad a lot, bro. Brooks and Olave. Brooks and Kenneth Walker. And I keep saying upgrade Kenneth Walker only if you're truly upgrading him, because he could be a top 6 and 10 running back. Brooks and Kenneth Walker, or Brooks, probably more so Brooks and Olave. Brooks, Chuba, and Olave for just one. I still bank on Tyreek Hill or above. St. Brown. Brooks and Olave for Neighbors and something. And I think because he's struggling, you could get something with it. You know. Pick one in the second flex. Tyrone Tracy, bro. As long as he's cleared and ready to go. We are waiting Tracy to get cleared, just so you guys know. I mean, Tracy's got high-end running back 2 value. I mean, he really does.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Quick 30-second phone calls only. No full team evals. We don't have time. Big win in my book, says Sean. I don't know, Sean, what you're talking about, but appreciate you. Tracy is cleared. Just make sure he's good to go, though. Cleared is one thing. He still needs to be good to go. So I know that. Who do I go after with BT, Wilson? I have Kyron and CMC in my starting flex right now. BT, and Wilson. I don't know, bro. BT and Wilson should get you a top 5 wide receiver. Doug, you're live.
Hey, just kudos to you, man, for banging the drum for us fantasy footballers and our support to the NFL. Without us, they wouldn't be what they are today.
Yeah, it frustrates me, bro, when a player. Leo says, "Is Smitty having a show tomorrow?" When have I not had a show, Leo? When have I not had a show? When have I not shown up for you, Leo? This offends me. Leo. Yeah, I don't understand why people defend players that say I'm not worried about fantasy, or like this is garbage. It's garbage. It's like an actor going out there and going, I don't care about the people that go to the movie theaters. Look at it. I don't care about the theaters. I don't care about the DVD buyers or the digital copy buyers on iTunes. I don't care about those people. I'm out there trying to do a craft and act in a movie. And I'm worried about that. Of course you're worried about that. It's ridiculous, bro.
I mean, yeah, that's we're supporting their livelihood. So why would they not?
We pay them. They work for us, bro. The players work for us. If I had a player on my show right now, I'd go, you work for me. You work for everybody listening right now.
I agree. Hey, I got an issue coming up with this flex thing with my running backs. I got 2 flexes to fill. I got Chase Brown, who doesn't have Zach Moss this week. Josh Jacobs, who's late afternoon with a bad ankle. And Tracy. Which 2 should I go with?
Say them again. Just say the names.
Chase Brown went without Zach Moss. Jacobs, who's a late afternoon and still has a Q on his ankle. And Tyrone Tracy, who is clear from his concussion protocol.
I lean Tracy for like safety. I lean Jacobs for a little bit higher risk, higher reward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
He's cleared and all, but just make sure everything's good. There's no setbacks. Tracy, Tracy's is good to go. Boom.
Boom.
That's just steady Eddie Cole. But Jacob still has more risk and upside. The risk is that it's not just look, if Jordan Love's out, sometimes they lean on Jacobs more, but sometimes you're going to get more defensive attention. It's a catch-22.
Yeah, they put the 8 up in the box and stuff, and I'm worried about Detroit getting out in the head, and then they
that would be my concern. But Jacobs, look, I mean, Willis is also pretty damn crafty, and what if he keeps this game close and they just run the ball? You know, they try not to lose it by throwing, and so they run, and then Jacobs has 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, I'm a little scared for you making this decision. I'm not gonna lie. It's you know, the Giants get down and then they game script out the run that way. There's that concern. I mean, it could go both ways, bro. Washington, I think, will probably put a number on the Giants even at home in New York. I don't know. This is a tough. Hey, chat, can we vote on that? Jacobs or Tracy, please? Jacobs or Tracy? Everybody vote Jacobs or Tracy. Let's see what the chat.
I'm gonna play those two because I have 2.
Oh, you get to play both of them.
One
Okay.
was Chase Brown.
Chase Brown. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. I put, even though Chase Brown has no Zach Moss, I still put both those guys in. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Okay. Great. Later, bro.
We got a lot of Jacobs votes though. That's. I don't blame people for voting Jacobs, but Jacobs, Tracy, Jacobs, Tracy. It's, you know, Tracy votes are kind of circling in. But yeah, I love both of them. They're both great plays, man. Great plays. Tracy sort of hurt. Well, he was concussed. There's some other lingering, you know, this guy hasn't been, you know, full-time, you know, he wasn't expected to take over the starting role. So was he primed and ready to go? Are there other lingering injuries? That's why I say make sure he's good to go. But apparently good to go with the concussion, obviously. So probably ready to rumble. Rate my team: 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex streaming QB, and should hold to make any moves. Bo Nix, Tua, Stafford, Stevenson, Chubb, JJ, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, Tyreek. I mean, if you could start all 4 of those wide receivers,
Motion detected at the front door.
I mean, you just kind of probably gamble on Stevenson and Chubb, I guess. You could try and turn one of them, like Jamar Chase or JJ, into 2 players, and you go get a Kamara and you go get a player. You've got Tyreek, but like that, you know, a Debo, for example. I would definitely explore that, but I would only do it if you hit a home run. Otherwise, I guess I do roll with the very light RB room with those 4 wide receivers. Like, that's a pretty awesome, you know, team. Start one wide receiver, 1 flex. Tyrone Tracy, probably Downs or Mooney. Can I get a vote, Downs or Mooney, in the chat, please? Downs or Mooney, please. Go with what the chat votes on, because that's dead even. Downs or Mooney. Sigma with a $20 hauler.
To Mars.
Thank you, Sigma. Appreciate you. Sigma says, Smitty, hope you're good, I guess. Need your help. 12 team, thank you. Full PPR. Josh Allen, wide receivers are JJ, Amon-Ra, Olave, Mooney, Tillman. Okay, JJ, Amon-Ra. I like this. I could go Olave, Mooney, send them packing, put Tillman in if I need to, right, to upgrade this running back stable. Mason, Garendo, Ramondre, Chase Brown. That's pretty weak running back stable. I would be going after Tracy. I'd be going after Kamara. I'd be going after Walker. I'd be trying to get those players. Jacobs, but he's going to cost a lot. But people are fickle about that kind of thing. Jacobs could be a very high sought after commodity in one league, and other people might doubt him and say, I don't like Jordan Love's injury and all that. Who knows? But Walker, Breece Hall, and Kamara are probably the cheapest RBs, in my opinion, right now, that you could get using an Olave and Ramondre, or a Chase Brown in a Olave type of situation. The other thing you could consider doing, Sigma, is what I just described a minute ago to the other gentleman, which was to take JJ, try and get a Kamara or Walker with a Debo or a Nico, and go that route. But you only do that if you're going to smash that trade. And make sure you can answer the question of, could either one of the players you're getting hang with the player you're giving up? Meaning, could Debo hang with JJ? Of course he wouldn't outscore him. You're not going to draft JJ or Debo over JJ if he's drafted over today. But could Debo hang with him? Yes. Could Nico? Yes. So then that wide receiver qualifies. Could Walker or Kamara hang with JJ? They could. Would you draft JJ over him? Of course. But make sure you answer the question yes to both the two players you're getting, and then I maybe make that move if the right combo. If not, do the first suggestion. What's up, Smitty? Traded. What does it say? Traded Debo, Connor for Achane and Amari. I think I could get behind either side because I love Debo and Connor a lot, but I think I'd take Achane. I think I might have seen that one already. $5 hauler from Jonathan. A blank shot there, pal. Appreciate you. It's gross, but it may come down to McMillan or Coker for the flex. I'd probably go with Coker, bro. Or I could pick up Douglas or Wicks. Wicks isn't bad, but Coker's probably kind of an exciting play. I think I'd probably roll with that, I suppose. It's risky. Chase Brown without Moss or Jacobs. I'm going Jacobs. He's still got, they're going to lean on him. You got to go Jacobs. I like both options, though. I'm 5-3 playing 8-0 team in my league PPR. Who should I start in my last flex spot? Bucky, Worthy, Keenan Allen, or Javonte Williams? I assume that is. I'm going to go with Worthy, bro. Guys, do you agree? Worthy or Keenan Allen or Javonte? I'm gonna go Worthy. I think Worthy's gonna have a big day. I think he will. Rate my team: 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, streaming QB. Knicks. Oh, I already did this one. Yeah, this is the one where I gave that advice of, maybe roll with all 4 of those wide receivers unless you can get rid of JJ and turn them into 2 players. But it has to be the same thing I just said, where you could say yes to the question of, could either one of the 2 players you're getting back at least hang with the JJ value. Half PPR Cooper if he plays, or Mooney at wide receiver 2. I'd probably go Mooney anyway. Chase Brown, Moss is out. T-Law, BT, and Gabe Davis are questionable, or May if he plays. I guess I'd go May, bro. At the Superflex. Appreciate it, Smitty. Guys, would you go T-Law knowing all you know right now, or go Drake May? I got a bunch of worthy votes, by the way. Would you go Drake May or T-Law knowing everything you know about questionable players, BT, Gabe Davis, all that? I'd probably go Drake May. Not the easiest call. Not the easiest call at all. KJV, my boy, got offered Puka and Olave for my St. Brown. I think I take Puka and Olave. Guys, Puka and Olave or St. Brown? I mean, look, we're not sure that Puka's even going to miss a game. And if he does, you got Olave, Bye weeks out of the way, it's, if he missed a game, it'd be 1, I imagine. Look, Schefter, as much as we can't trust what we're hearing, at least Rappaport is saying that there's no major injury at all. I'd probably take the 2 players, and then maybe you can flip Olave and something to upgrade something else. But Puka, if we didn't have the report that Puka was going to miss, maybe miss some time, and he's not gonna, they're according to Schefter, but maybe the 1 game, and that's just because they're saying he has a shot to play this week. He's fine. There's no big injury. He has a shot to play this week. That's confusing. But if we didn't get that news, we would think Puka and St. Brown were even, if not, a lot of people would say Puka Nacua over St. Brown. Puka and Olave, easy. Puka and Olave, Puka and Olave, Puka and Olave. There you go. Easy call. Got offered Puka and Olave for my St. Brown. Smash it. Don't worry about the repercussions. You just got to take it and run with it. Justin, appreciate your super chat, my boy. Have you checked check the quantum physics on Tyrone Tracy? Look, I'll tell you what, there definitely is some string theory representation in Tracy's game logs that if you correlate it to the component structure molecules on a quantum physics level, of course, I'm not an idiot. I wouldn't run this through a map sequence. But if you take Tracy's quantum level mechanical ratios, so to speak. I don't want to bore you with the details, and you magnify them under a infrared light, you get a lot of strings that relate to string theory, of course. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. That suggests that there are some extra fibers in his hamstrings that will allow him to endure the season in a way we've never seen a running back endure. I very much am excited about the healing mechanisms inside this man's body. The amount of healing molecules and structure components that helped him recoup his concussive state back into a normal state in a record time at the age of 25 is remarkable, and that's why Tracy's going to the moon.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Where were we at? Thank you, Justin, for the haha super chat. Hassan, thoughts on Amari rest of season? Not a big fan. Nice job again on your trade, broski. And then Nick with the super chat here. Nick, appreciate you. Nick says, flex Olave or JT. I'm going to go JT right now. I know Olave is in a smash spot, but I feel like I need a show-me game from Olave. I don't blame you. I would try and get both in my lineup. I'm not going to lie. I like Olave this week. You're not going to hear me say bench Olave, but I do think you can't bench JT right now. And I wouldn't say JT's matchup feels as tough as, look, it's the passing attack that worried me before the Rams got their hands on this Minnesota Vikings defense. just tore them apart. So I don't know that I'm scared of him the same way I was, but I will say that JT's got the better shot than the receiving game. You know what I mean? Because it's really a lockdown the passing game situation over there. I mean, JT's going to be able to rumble, and you know they're going to try and run the ball. But you're not wrong for liking both of them. That's why I say I get myself in a position where I can play both of them. All right, let's see if Tyler's got any negativity in the super chat here. Coleman, Tyrone Tracy, or Reed without love. Coleman, Tyrone Tracy, or Reed without love. Tracy. Even if Reed has love, Tracy's probably still the call. Thank you for being positive. Myers or Higgins rest of season. Well, when Higgins is back, I mean Higgins, bro. Let's see here. Tracy is a solar system somewhere. He's basically planting his flag on one of the moons around Jupiter. Tracy, Madison, or Wandell. Come on, bro. Bella, check yourself. You know I love you, pal, but have some respect for Tyrone Tracy, my guy. Can someone tell me if this is a fair trade? Would CMC owner, Ramondre owner, and Pollard owner accept Mason for DJ Moore? Yeah, they should. I think it's fair. I think you could end up being regretful of this in week 10, because I think Mason could. But then again, you could wish you got something. So I don't mind that at all. There are a couple players I'd rather have, like Debo or Puka right now with the injury concern, etc. Eyes are good. They're not burning right now. Should I trade JJ for Jaden Reed, Debo, Coleman, and Tracy? I think that is a good trade if you need to make a move, Monty. I think Tracy and Debo and Reed is a lot to get for just JJ if you need to make a move. If you're winning, Monty, don't do anything. Stay the course. If you are losing and you can't win with the team you have, Debo and Tracy are nice additions. Traded Swift for Monty and Jaden Reed. I'd rather have Monty and Jaden Reed all day long, even though Swift has been balling. Okay, he's been balling, but that is a great trade to make. That is a fantastic trade to make. Excellent job. Garrett Wilson and Hopkins for Nico. I think you could go either way on this one. I mean, Garrett Wilson's earned his value, bro. I don't know that we can sit here and just laugh off Garrett Wilson and Hopkins for Nico. I don't think we could just sit here and act like Nico, you know, not even sure about Nico's for sure return. You know, he's supposed to return, but like, what if he needs another week? Garrett Wilson or Nico, guys, vote in the chat. I want to say Nico. I do, but Stroud also looks very bad. I don't think keeping Garrett Wilson's crazy at this point, especially if you need wins, you know. But if you don't need wins, yeah, Higgins probably doesn't play this week. Not to mention, like, there's trade rumors, too. You wonder if those are part of this. We got Wilson. We got a Nico, come on. Oh, come on, Nico. We got other Garrett Wilson votes, though, bro. So, obviously, it's not that clear. It's not clear as day, obviously. If Nico was back already, I'd say Nico. I think it's pretty damn even right now. Given that Nico's not back, nor do you know if he's 100% back when this last game is up. So let's figure that out. Madden says no way Puka plays. I would not say there's no way Puka plays. I think there's some definite question about it. Like, of course, it feels 50-50, but no way. How can you say no way he plays? There's definitely a possibility he plays. And there's a possibility he plays when he shouldn't. Like, Madden, that's the whole point of what's going on here. You know, you said no way Nico Collins should have played, but he did. No way DK Metcalf should have played with his injury, but he did. And both of them got knocked out for multiple weeks because of it. So don't tell me there's no way that something's going to happen. These players and coaches, they don't tell us things. One moment, they send players out that they shouldn't play, and they aggravate stuff even worse. Took the trade, have Puka, Olave, BT, and Reed want to turn two into one monster trade ideas. I mean, honestly, any one of those guys, you're just trying to get that JJ type player, but tough to say. You know, like Olave and Reed or Olave and BT, can you get a top dog with that, keeping Puka? You know, throw them out there at every top, throw it out there to Chase, throw it out there for Lamb. Thank you, KJV. Appreciate you. You could try and go get an RB too. You know, throw Olave and our RB together to try and get an upgrade.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the Attic.shop phone lines. Dial in. Miguel, is Jonathan Brooks droppable? I've tried trading him away. I don't know that I'd say droppable, bro. It depends on who you can pick up, but there's still some trade value. There's still some significant trade value in just a little bit. We're only in week number 9, my guy. 281 caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm sure I'm calling from Tempe. I had a question about a trade.
You calling from where?
Yeah, Tempe, Arizona.
Okay, what's your name, bro?
Shrug.
Who?
Cheese. Call me Cheese.
T?
Yeah.
Okay, T from Tempe.
Yeah. So I got Derrick Henry, B. John, Marvin Harrison Jr., C.D. Lamb, Trey McBride, and then Rico Dowd on my flex. But I don't really like my flex position right now. I need to figure out what to do with that. So I was just wondering what kind of trade do you think?
Name your team again.
Derrick Henry, B. John Robinson, Marvin Harrison Jr., C.D. Lamb, and Trey McBride. And then I have Kyler Murray as the QB.
I mean, you could try and trade if you don't think you can. Do you think you could win with this team though? Like if you think you can, like if you're hanging, then I don't know that I'm trading away. Like the move for you to make, if you needed to make a move, would be trading Derrick Henry for 2 players, trading for, your top wide receiver for 2 players. But you'd have to hit a home run. You have to get a Nico and a Kamara. You have to get a Breece Hall and a Debo. You got to get a Breece Hall and a Puka Nacua. You got to get a Puka Nacua or Kenneth Walker. Like
what about a Derrick? So I got a trade going for Derrick Henry for Nico and Isaiah Pacheco. What do you think about that?
I think that could be good if let's say Pacheco was back and proven, but no, not right now. I think you need a running back. That's a close one, but it's not enough. Like you need a Walker or Kamara. You need a Breece Hall and something. I think Henry commands the world, bro. You don't trade Henry unless you're getting for sure. You're getting like, I wouldn't even do it for 2 Pachecos and Nico because of what Pacheco doesn't yet represent. You can't make an assumption. He makes all the assumptions. You're the one giving up Henry. You're giving up the top commodity. What's your record, bro?
I'm 6-2 right now.
Then why mess around with it? Hit the waiver wire.
I don't like not having the best. You know what I mean?
Okay, but are you gonna like it anymore by diluting your studs and having a little bit better flex, but now you don't have as big of a home run hitting running back 1? Like, what are you doing here? You're in a boat. You're in a boat that has a hole in it, and you're trying to plug it by making 2 bigger holes. Like you're gonna cut out a section of the boat to take that piece to plug the hole, and all of a sudden that section's oozing water into the boat. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much you can do. You'd have to make a remarkable 1 player Henry going away, 2 players coming in, and that trade is not that.
Also, one more question. So it's a starter sit question. Do you think Sam Darnold or Kyler Murray is going to have more upside? Which one do you think is going to be better?
Chat, vote on Sam Darnold or Kyler Murray this week. Vote on that, please. And
I'm thinking Sam Darnold, but like if chat thinks it's Kyler Murray, I'll rock with the chat.
Yeah, let's see what the chat thinks. But let's also take a look at what the average. I'm going to look at start data and what the average person's starting. Darnold, they're starting Darnold about like 5% more than Kyler. It's like neck and neck, or less than 5%.
Yeah.
It's literally they're dead even in terms of start data. So yeah, like nearly dead even. Darnold. We've got Kyler, Darnold, Kyler, Darnold.
I might just stick with Darnold because I have a feeling Kyler might get trampled by the Bears this weekend. I don't know why, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Logically, if we look at these matchups and we say, okay, well, what are the Colts going to do? Are the Colts going to lambaste the Vikings? Probably not. Not in Minnesota. It's probably going to be a close game, if not a Viking win. I'm not saying Flacco can't win this game. I'm just saying I doubt the Colts go out there and just run them. You never know. It's the NFL. Mm-hmm. But I do think even if that happened, you might have Darnold throwing a bunch of like 3rd and 4th quarter touchdowns. I think Darnold is safer, bro.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you, Smitty.
All right, later, bro.
Later.
Yeah, it's a tough call, but Kyler's running ability makes him a play you want to say Kyler. You just want to go with the running ability, but Darnold's been pretty steady. Rank Bijan, Achan rest of season. Achan, then Bijan. I love them both, though. Start a QB, Bo Nix, Dak, Caleb, or Winston, or Tua. Probably Dak. Bo Nix is hard to sit, but probably Dak. And that Cowboys-Falcons game will probably be a shootout, I would think. 6-2. Nix, Achan, Kyron, Cup, Amon-Ra, Kraft, Garrett Wilson, bench, Bigsby. Upgrade my tight end. I mean, you got Tracy, Brooks. You got a lot of firepower, bro. Achan, Kyron, and Tracy's pretty damn good. Bigsby. Maybe you're trading Bigsby or I like Kraft. You know what? I'm going to say don't, unless you're getting, I'm going to say keep Kraft, bro. I'd rather keep Kraft and have Tracy. And Tracy's your only bench piece that you can pull this off with, bro. I'm going to say keep Kraft. Kraft's got some good metrics, bro. I don't know that I'm running away from that situation. I think it only gets better for him. I keep Kraft. I like this team a lot from top to bottom. The only thing I'd consider upgrading is your QB. Use Tracy to upgrade Nix into something, bro. Go after Mahomes. Don't worry about your tight end position. Worry about your quarterback. I like Nix a lot. He's been playing really well. But I don't know that, he's a rookie. He could be up and down still. I'm not sold on him being number 9 all year long. I like what I'm seeing for sure. Best guess as to what Pacheco return. Pacheco may return. I mean, he could return in week 10, probably week 11 to be safe, but it certainly could be like Puka wasn't going to return, and then all of a sudden he just was back. There wasn't even he could play this week. It was like, boom, he's back. So it could happen either way. Sup, Smitty got goated yesterday. Owner fell to 2-6, and I offered DK Mostert and a 25 third. Got goated yesterday. Owner fell to 2-6 and offered DK Mostert and a 25 third. I owe you for teaching me the fine art of trading. Smitty the goat. Who did you trade? Oh, did you get Lamb? Using DK Mostert and a 25 third. If you got that, Sean, that's a home run, bro. Congratulations and thank you, bro. All right, Al from New York, you're live.
Smitty, my guy.
What's up?
I got a couple of questions. I got some quick ones. Tied for first place in my high money league. I'm not going to go over the whole team, but I'm holding Ferguson and Kincaid. Who do you start this week between those two? That's my first one. I got a couple other questions.
Fergie, for now.
Okay. I'm ahead. I've been looking weeks ahead for defenses. So right now I'm starting the Eagles this week, but I got the Chiefs and the Giants. I'm debating if I should drop. Would you drop Dobbs? The rest of my bench is Debo. He's on bye. Corum, handcuff, and Cousins because it's super flex.
Yeah, you can't cut Cousins or any of those guys. You got to cut Dobbs, unfortunately.
Yeah, for the Giants next week because they got the Panthers. Okay, and I mean, I'm sorry, I need to curse, but I love my team. You've been crushing it. Lifetime member. Just
attaboy.
Your material is off the charts. I got Kyron, Hurts, Achan, Devontae, Mostert, Chase Brown, Mahomes, and Superflex, and just people don't want to give me something because my team is too good. They don't want to give me something for Cousins. People want deals, but they just don't want to deal with me.
Yep, that's the way it goes, bro. People are afraid to give you. They're afraid to give you a better team than you already have.
I appreciate you, Smitty.
All right, man. Thanks, Al.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Okay, Knicks over Mahomes this week. I'm going Mahomes, Hassan. Chase Brown, trade my JJ, Knicks, and Hill for Burrow, DK, and Jacobs. Is that Tyreek Hill? JJ Nix and Hill. Justice Hill. Okay. I was wondering if he was retyping that wrong. JJ Nix and Justice Hill for Burrow, DK, and Jacobs. I'm going to go with... Damn, man. Trade my JJ Nix and Justice Hill for Burrow, DK, Jacobs. That's a tough call. I think I need to know who your quarterback is, Michael. If I don't know who your quarterback is, how can I answer this question? You know? I mean, DK, if DK wasn't out, it'd be a very, very lopsided trade in the DK, Jacobs, and Burrow side. Because DK's out, it makes it tough. And I don't know if you're starting Nix or Burrow. You're starting whoever. I probably lean toward the Burrow, DK, Jacobs side. Mainly because I want Burrow over Nix. Jacobs can have a fighting chance against JJ until DK comes back, and then you've got both of them. But, I mean, it's a tough question to answer. Start Stafford or Jameis Winston? Probably Stafford right now, but they both could be very, very close, bro. Thank you for the super chat.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
He's Kyron, he's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Smitty, I traded Monty for JJ. Nice job, bro. Nice job. 770 caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Smitty, what's up, man? This is Mike from Atlanta.
Mike from Atlanta. What can I do for you, Mike?
All right, man. So I'm in a 14-man half PPR league. I'm currently in 6th place. Stupidest schedule in the world because I have the highest scores points for and the highest scores points against. If you could rate my team for me, I have Stafford, Winston at quarterback, Breece Hall, Hunt, JJ at receiver, Mooney at receiver, Mike Evans, BTJ, got Brooks on the bench, got Laporta. Yeah, you could rate that team for me.
I like it.
I traded Munty and got JJ.
I like it, bro. I like it. I think you could definitely win. Who's your running back to again?
It's Hunt, man, but Breece is fucking killing me, man.
Yeah, but you gotta keep the faith in Breece. What are you gonna do? Trade him away for what? You know, who's gonna buy him? Who's gonna buy him low right now? I would not. I would not panic on him. He averaged 5 yards a carry last night. It's just they need to run him more. They need to throw to him more. Keep in mind what he's done in your look at last year alone. Last year alone he had that's Kyron. Hold on. Last year alone, no, it's HN. Last year alone he had number 2 overall running back production with a bunch of these games. He's so capable of being running back 1, running back 3, running back 2, running back 5, like in the last 4 weeks of the season. Like let's realize what he's capable of doing, what he did. Top 10 running back 7 times last year. 41% of the time he was a top 10 running back. That's with having that's with having a 69 running back finish, 53, 23, 23, 26, 23, 21, 60. He had a bunch of bad games. That's just kind of what he does, but I'm not worried about it. If you were able to trade him for Gibbs, like, of course I would do that. But who's going to do that?
I would love Gibbs. But I just traded Munty for JJ. What do you think about that?
I love that. That's why I keep saying trade for JJ. In fact, I might have JJ on my buy low list. I mean, we only have tonight and tomorrow to trade, but I might do something tonight on it because I'm getting a lot of I just got JJ on the cheap, or do I trade for JJ? And like people not even sure if they should trade for JJ. Like, what are we doing?
Trade for JJ, man. Trade
I don't
for
understand
JJ.
the hesitation, but there's a lot of it. All right, bro, gotta go. Appreciate you. Good team.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
702 caller. What is your name? 702. Okay. See you later. Good talk. We'll be back. We'll be back tonight. There's how many of you in the room right now? 600 of you in here. Hit that subscribe button. Thumb up the video. Slap it. Slap both those buttons. We'll be back tonight to do a draft show and news show. I'm sure there'll be something updated. Trade show. Go get JJ before it's too late show. I'll see you all tonight. Appreciate every single one of you. Spencer traded Deontay for Waddle. Now trying to move Coleman for one wide receiver upgrade. Any ideas? So Waddle and Coleman. Is that what you're saying? Waddle and Coleman. I like the Waddle move. Waddle and Coleman for, go for the injured players, bro. Go for Debo, who's like banged up but on a bye week. Go for Nico, probably not going to get it. DK, I'd rather have DK. He's injured right now. He's scaring his owner. Go after Puka. Puka's injury scare right now. Smash those, bro. Throw in a little more if you've got to get Puka. It's worth it. It's worth the risk, in my opinion. Yeah, and JJ, I think we might start tonight's show off with go get JJ because we're getting a lot of, do I trade for him? Of course you do. Do I trade him away? Of course you don't. JJ's getting tossed around like a rag doll right now. See you tonight.